Welcome to the simulation. The colors, the sounds, the sensations you're beginning to perceive, that's what we call consciousness. Your memories are still buffering, so this tutorial level, your childhood, will mostly be a blur. But don't worry. More experienced players are watching over you, guiding you through the early stages. Soon, you'll master the basic controls: how to walk, how to talk. After collecting your first few memories and earning some experience points, you'll advance to the first official stage. Education, N, and here, you'll learn the fundamentals of the human character build: math, reading, social interaction. It's straightforward for now, but as you progress, the levels get harder. You'll grind for hours to learn essential data like the Pythagorean theorem and that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. After a few years, you'll level up to adolescence. Your thoughts become sharper, your sense of self begins to form. And, for the first time, a profound question surfaces. Why? What's the point of this game? You ask the veteran players, your elders. To win, they say. To be successful. Just keep your head down and follow the path. Trust us. And so you do. You enter the young adult stage, a chaotic whirlwind of new emotions and responsibilities. It feels like you have no time to think, though ironically, you'll never have this much free time again. It's just overwhelming because it's new. The veteran players start talking about the next expansion pack, college. They call it the essential next step to winning the game, to making lots of money. Trusting them, you start working overtime, spending countless hours studying and chasing extra credit to boost your stats. It's around now that you notice a strange rule in the game. No one talks about money. No one explains how it works or why it's the ultimate objective. You just assume everyone else knows the secret. So, you get your first part-time job. When that first paycheck hits, a rush floods your system. You buy the shoes you've wanted for years, feeling a sense of accomplishment. Then comes the new phone, new clothes, a car that's a little too expensive, but it's worth it for the approval of other players, right? And your hard work pays off. The acceptance letter arrives. You graduate at the top of your class, your XP bar nearly full. You enter the college stage, only to find the entry fee is a staggering $30,000 a year, money you don't have. You choose a major, not out of passion, but for its potential payout. You work a full-time job while studying, trying to outpace the mounting debt, but it's a losing battle. You juggle work, school, relationships, and sleep until your mental health bar starts to drain. The rare free moments are spent distracting yourself from the stress with social media, junk food, and video games. Sleep dwindles from 8 hours to 5. You see your reflection change, but you ignore it. It's the average player model, so it must be fine. N. Sometimes time flies, other times it crawls. You push forward, clinging to the promise that one day you'll finally win. In a quiet moment, staring at the ceiling, the old question returns. Asterisk. Why? Is this really what I want? Asterisk. But you're 2 decades in, buried in 5-figure debt. You don't know any other way to play. Disappointing everyone is not an option. So, you silence the question and push on. After 4 years and 6 figures of debt, you complete the college stage. N. Now, for the longest stage of all, the rest of your life. The guides and mentors are gone. You're on your own. You search for a job, thinking 16 years in the education system guarantees you a spot. It doesn't. You land a position you can barely tolerate, working 5 days for a 2-day weekend. Just like in school, only now, there are no summer breaks. The 40-hour work week quickly bleeds into 50 just to live comfortably. The promised 2 weeks of vacation a year feels like a cruel joke. You buy a newer car and a bigger apartment to convince yourself it was all worth it. Friends and family become distant NPCs as work becomes the main quest line. N feeling the societal pressure as you see other players pairing up. You find a partner. Life is euphoric again. The world feels brighter, more meaningful. But over time, the initial spark fades into the quiet rhythm of routine. You buy a house together, and the increased hours you both work leave little energy for the relationship. A child is on the way, the stress mounts, and money gets even tighter. At 30, you feel 50. The commute, the long hours, the constant pressure, it all takes a toll. You climb the corporate ladder, upgrading your lifestyle to match, desperate to show other players how successful you are. But inside, you hate your job. Quitting isn't an option. You have a family to support and shiny objects to pay for. There is no going back. N. Your life settles into a predictable loop. Fast food for every meal. The highlight of your day is a TV show at night and a beer on the weekends. The friends who started this journey with you are gone. You work a job you hate to buy things that distract you from the job you hate. This is your life now. You hear about retirement, about how compound interest will make you a millionaire in 40 years. Just invest a little, they say, and live frugally. You look in the mirror and can't imagine working until you're 70. But with kids to support and prices rising everywhere, you see no other path. End time accelerates. Decades blur into a montage of mundane routines. Your once high-paying job is now barely average. In your 50 seconds, you check your retirement account and realize you're far behind. The advice now is to cut back even more. Live poor now so you can die rich later. Finally, at 60, you've made it. You're earning a six-figure salary, a success by society's standards, but your body is failing. In a rare, quiet moment, like a ghost from the past, the question echoes one last time. Asterisk. Why? What was the point? Was this victory? And was it even my definition of victory? Asterisk NN, for the first time in decades, you stop listening to the programmed instructions, and you truly think. The entire blueprint of your existence materializes before you. Go to school. Listen to authority. Memorize. Forget. Repeat. Don't learn about money, but learn how to balance a chemical equation. Don't think for yourself. Be a copy of everyone else. Go to college. Drown in debt at 18. Get a job that barely pays the bills. Work 40, then 50 hours a week for 50 weeks a year to get 2 weeks off. Dread Mondays. Live for Saturday. Distract yourself with TV, sports, junk food, and shiny objects. Start a family. Buy a house you can't afford. And impress people you don't even like. Take advice from average people and expect an extraordinary life. Live as cheaply as possible, hoping the market is kind for the next 40 years. And then, at 65, when your body is broken from years of neglect, you can finally be free. That's happiness. That's the prize. You snap out of the trance, your eyes filled with tears. You realize you'll never live the life you wanted. It was a lie, a fantasy fed to you from the beginning. The goal was never for you to be free. The plan was for you to work until you died. You were designed to lose this game from the start. Freedom. That's all you ever wanted. The ability to control your own time, to create your own meaning. Now, at 62, just 3 years from your promised freedom, you look up from a hospital bed. All you want is more time. A chance for a redo. But this game has no continues. You were promised freedom, but you can't take your money, your car, or your house with you. The only thing you have in your final moments are the memories of your experiences. And as you fade out, you realize you have nothing. Not a life of your own making, but one dictated by someone else's script. Your one chance at existence, wasted. This is the end. Game over.